much. Thank you for joining us for another product walkthrough webinar. Today, I am joined by the team over at TeliportMe. TeliportMe Virtual Tours lets you create and host interactive 360-degree virtual tours with high-resolution content delivery. It is available on AppSumo right now, starting at $79 for a lifetime deal. And it currently has a 5 taco rating and 27 reviews, and it is coming from our marketplace where it was beloved and one of our highest sellers, which is why you see it as one of our select deals today. So before we dive into the walkthrough of the product, I just want to tell y'all a few quick things. The first is that if you want to tell us a little bit about your use case, we do love to hear that, especially for a tool like this one that's very unique. You can go ahead and leave your use case over in the chat room. If you have any questions about the deal, the tool, how to get set up, go ahead and leave your questions in the Q&A box down below this video. We will circle back to all of your questions at the end of the walkthrough. And the last thing is that there will be a replay of this. So if you need to step out, you can totally catch this later. And hello to the replay. I hope the future is going okay. All right, that's it for me. Hey, Vineet, how are you doing?
I'm good, Lindsay. How are you doing?
I am doing all right. It is great to have you.
Oh, wow. We have a question already.
We do. We have a coach.
I was expecting nobody, and we have one.
We've got people here. We've got people that are excited about the tool. Sumolings, if you want to tell us where you're watching from, what you're interested in this tool for, do that in the chat room. We do like to hear from you. And then, leave your questions in the Q&A box. You want to take it away for the walkthrough? Let me know when you're ready for some questions.
I am ready to take it away.
Awesome. Have fun.
Awesome. Hey guys, this is Vineet. I'm the founder and CEO of TeliportMe, and we are on the AppSumo Select page right now. And I wanted to talk about a couple of things before I go into the walkthrough. I think the first part really is why would you use a tool like ours? Because it's not a very regular kind of tool, and we would never be here if there was a sudden change in the market. So we decided to go AppSumo because there's a massive spike in the need for virtual tours all around the world. And this meant that there's a huge opportunity for freelancers or small agency owners or people that just have contacts around the space to build a very viable 360 business. And so with that in mind, we decided that AppSumo would be a great place for us to come, showcase our product, and give an easy way for people to build their business. Now, the deal itself is probably best suited for two kinds of people. One is a person that already owns a space. That is, if someone owns rental properties, they own short-term rentals like Airbnbs, they own houses, once and just let it run for the rest of life. The second, which is what our biggest focus is on, is really enabling a lot of Sumolings to build better businesses or generate more revenue for themselves and for their businesses in the time of the pandemic. Right now, the world's in disarray, and most importantly, the other forms of kind of generating revenue have sort of fallen off the cliff. And this is an opportunity in that sense, which is if you already have a running digital business and you're really good at making leads, you're very good at getting clients, then this is an opportunity for that. So just keeping those things in mind is very important, because the tool itself is really simple. It's very standard. We are the number one in the market. I'll talk about our company a little bit as I'm doing the demo, but that's something to just keep in a frame of mind for you if you're trying to buy the tool, because if you have looked at the deal and you've talked to me on the page or anywhere else, our big focus is not to FOMO you into buying our product. We want to help you build a business. We're going to try to do things that are going to help you build that business. So we would rather have 1,000 people who are interested in increasing or making money than 5,000 who just want to hold on to this product, right? So that's kind of our focus, our very laser focus on that. About our company, TeliportMe has existed since 2010. Our biggest product is Panorama 360, which is a panorama capture and sharing app. We have about 15 million users worldwide, both on iOS and Android, and we're number one in that space of 360 capture. And in terms of virtual reality, and in terms of working in the VR and 360 space, we have quite a foothold because we've been invested by entities like UNICEF, Idea Lab, 500 startups, and so on and so forth. The product that is TeliportMe Virtual Tours is a relatively recent product. It's about 2 years old, so compared to our 10-year-old history, it's a recent product. And we have captured, I would say, 30% of the market within the year and a half that we have released. We're the only product that integrates with large corporate clients. And these are important reasons for you to keep in consideration if you're going to build a business around a certain tool or a certain product. And I can talk more about it, but I'm just going to jump into the tool, show you how it works, talk about a couple of use cases, and then maybe take the questions. So let me share my screen. All right, so how do I move this down? All right, so this is the, when you log in, this is what you will see. The idea is really simple. You have your dashboard, you have your tours, your panoramas, and your brands. And brands is basically the companies or the clients you have, and you can keep all their assets in one space so that it's very easy for you to build these virtual tours on the fly. And this is something, again, no other product in our space has. So if you have 10 clients and you have 10 different brands with different colors and different settings. So if I look at, say, for example, this, I have things that are hotspot settings, label background, so full customization that you can provide your customer, and they can tell where the product is coming from. So it can, and it shows up as your product. So this is a very important part. The way the tours work is really simple. So if you log in, you have your AppSumo account, you redeem your code, you will get two tours for free. These are white label tours. I can't really show you this here because I've already redeemed them. But once you click on import to your tours, you get 2 tours for free that you can use for pre-selling your tours and your services. So this is something that we wanted you to do even before you can stack up, you can do anything. I wanted you to have a look at what does it feel to go pitch a client and find customers that can pay you money. And this is very important because the business of virtual tours starts locally. It starts from your real estate friend, your restaurant, your favorite restaurant, your coffee shop. You start from there, you build your portfolio, and then you kind of start scaling up. So having a virtual tour that you can brand on your agency was really important for us to give you so that you can pre-sell it. And then it will give you the confidence that, all right, I can make a lot of money off this, and hence I'm going to stack or I'm going to buy more of the product. So that's the mentality around where the whole deal is structured. How does the product work? So to create a new tour, you'd click on the create a new tour button. You will add a name, description, and this is where you can choose the brand kit. So for example, if your brand is Nike, you can just choose Nike here. You can be private, unlisted, public. So I'm not going to create a tour right now, but this is just how you would create it. Once you create the tour and you upload the panoramas, your edit screen is going to look something like this. So what does the panorama say? What are these things? So if you look at it, these are basically a collection of panoramas that you combine together and create a sort of a presentation. So think of it as just like PowerPoint, where your building blocks are 360 panoramas, sound, assets, icons, brands, whatever you want to provide that experience for your customer. I mean, we have customers that use this for museums. We have customers that use this for showrooms. We have SuperDrive, which is a massive retail store that uses our product, and they use it for basically showing different. I forgot what you call them, but the window dressing, I guess, around the world. So they have these 360 interactive panoramas of window dressings all around the world, which showcase their top designs. So the use cases are just varied, and it depends on your imagination on how you can combine all these factors to create a compelling presentation and a compelling lead generation magnet or a compelling experience for your client. We have doctors that use this for therapy. We have teachers that use this to teach students. So the use cases are varied. So once you upload your panoramas, the simple thing that you're going to do here is just going to move this here. So the presentation part is divided into 3 sections. One is the panorama section, the tour section, and the hotspot section. The hotspot section is the interactive elements that you can put on the tour. The panorama itself is editing stuff that you can do with the panorama. So you can set initial positions. So for example, if you want the panorama to open up at here, kind of line it up and you hit on set initial position and it says the initial position. You can add a sound to your panorama. So for example, if you want the panorama to open up to some kind of background music or some kind of ambient sound, which is used a lot in cafes, restaurants that use our tour, they use a lot of ambient music. So you can add that here. The nadir is basically something that is right here. So sometimes when you're doing photography, the nadir itself, you sometimes have some issues right here because your camera doesn't, properly blur out. So you add a nadir, which is something like this, where you just put your logo or anything that you think is relevant to kind of cover up this part. A lot of customers use it for branding because they don't want to put their branding anywhere, so they kind of put it right here. So this is again something that depends on what your requirements are. And then there are other customization options like zoom, so you can move forward, backward, pitch limits, which is, for example, if you're using our iOS and Android app and you capture the panoramas, they don't have the top and bottom because they are cylindrical panoramas. So what you can do is you can just kind of cover up the pitch and you save it. And you'll see that it doesn't kind of move up and down. It's kind of stuck. So this way your panorama doesn't really, you don't have the up and down part. So I think maybe it went a little bit too high, but here, so the up and down just is restricted. So even if you have a cylindrical panorama, you can have this kind of 360 experience without the top and the bottom. And a lot of times that is enough for apartments and very quick tours that, if your client is not willing to pay too much money, you can use that. Then the other thing is under the tour settings, you can reorder your panoramas, you can change your brand kit. So for example, you can go and select some other brands if you want it and directly apply all the settings. Again, native for the entire tour. So these are customization options that are plenty. Now, the hotspots are the magic, according to also our AppSumo video. So this is how it works. You click on the add hotspot button, you get your hotspot here. Now this hotspot can do a bunch of things. You can either connect it to another panorama to create that kind of walkthrough experience. All you have to do is click the link button right here and you select another panorama, and that's it. You have linked this button to this panorama. You can increase the size. You can we have this really cool feature, which is called the floor feature. So if you click on it, it kind of can be added to the floor. So it becomes a two-dimensional thing where you can kind of just walk through if you don't like the top part. And a lot of people like this because it does not obstruct the view. You can add an audio file, like I mentioned. So you can add an audio file, which could be somebody speaking. So for museums, this is really relevant because as you click on it, people will, there's something to say. So then, it becomes indicative of some kind of speech. Then you have images. So you can upload images. You can direct to a website. You can add a YouTube link, which is a video, and you can add text. So for example, if you just want to put this as, this is a road, so you can do that. And then you can, again, customize all of this based on what you want. It's a really bad combination, but let's try this. There you go. Yeah, and it's kind of like just making a presentation. And depending on how you want to do, so for example, I want to add another hotspot right here. So I add it, I drag it here. I want to link it to a panorama. So then I go here. I want to link it to this outside part right here, backyard. And I think this is probably the backyard. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to save it. And while you're doing all of this, you can preview the section. I'm not sure if, okay. I'm not sure if you can see it because I don't know if I shared the screen or the tab. But there you go. So this is the preview. And when you click on it, kind of goes right here. And that's kind of how the whole product sort of works. Now, let me show you the sharing part of it. So in the share sequence, this is important because it's important to know how you're going to share the presentation or the virtual tour. So here we have a bunch of options. So you can select your embed size, and this can be embedded on all websites that accept iframe. So if you can embed a YouTube video, then you can embed anything. You can embed our virtual tour. So you can select your sizes. You can also just do a custom size. You can change the width and height. You can take off the logo. You can add a custom logo. And this is where, again, the branding part comes into play. So you can just select your logo. And I don't know if you noticed it, but let me do it again. So here you have also the ability to add to a URL. So if you have a customer and they have a website, you can link their website directly via the logo. Then you can customize a tour thumbnail. So the share thumbnail that is there, you can either upload a share thumbnail or you can pick a panorama that you think is best represented for the tour. So for example, I'm going to pick this. You have two different modes. One is the walkthrough mode. So this is the walkthrough mode. And the other that we have is a listing mode. So the listing mode is mostly for very large tours. I haven't really set this up to be a listing mode. So I'm going to go back to walkthrough and I'm going to show you another tour that has the listing mode. So if you have a large customer like a university or a hotel that has 50 or to 100 tour panoramas, it is always good to kind of have it in a more organized way. And that's what the listing mode helps you get through. You can do things where you can increase the size of the logo, increase transparency, auto rotate. So you can kind of increase the speed. And once you're ready and you really like the experience, you can kind of save it. And once you save it, here you have these three options. You have the embed code that you can embed. We give you a link. And if you are a realtor, we also give you an MLS link. So this MLS link can be added to any of your MLS listing sites. The difference between a normal tour and an MLS tour is that an MLS tour has to have no branding on it. So we automatically create two links for you. One is branded and unbranded, because the MLS does not allow any kind of branding on it. So this is just an MLS rule. And so that's kind of how you would share a tour. Now, a lot of questions have come about, CNAME and custom branding and like, what do we, like, can we have our link direct to this? And, we don't do CNAME, but we don't restrict redirect. So if you are if you have your website, you can just redirect the link from TeliportMe to that link that you want to show it at. Or alternatively, you can just embed it as a full screen. So you just go here, you put fill, and you embed the whole tour as a full screen tour. And it's just going to play on your website like it is within your website itself. So there are different ways to do it. And this CNAME optionality is available for everybody, even with one code, and it's free to do and it's unlimited. So you can do it as many domains as you want. And we thought that's a better way to do it than, give one domain or one CNAME and things like that. So this is just an easier way for you to have complete branding. So when you do show your customer the tour, it's not going to have anything that says Teleport Me on it. It's going to completely look like it is a tour made by your service. And this is very important for us. Save and leave. Thinking about what else I can show you guys. I think these are kind of just the main. I'm going to show you the listing view before we go. So, for example, I don't have a really. Oh, here you go. So this is one of the examples. So you see that the layout is a little bit different. And here you have these folders, and you can go to different parts of the tour really quickly. So this is really important for, when you have a very large tour and you just want to go to the top floor, then you want to go to like outside. And so this is the folder view. And you hear on the side, you can see all of these scrolling on the side. So this is another kind of view that can be made using our software. The way you do it is really simple. I'll show it to you really quickly. So for example, I'm going to pick this one, go here. And here what you can do is you can just create folders. So you maybe create a folder, you say floor. And then you can just kind of select and you add 4 items to floor 1. Done. Create another folder, say floor 2, save it, and then you select your panoramas. Add items to folder, floor 2, and so on and so forth. You just made these folders. And once you create this folder, when you go to the share part, and you look at listing and you save it. I'm going to copy this link, close this one. So now the same tour that was in a walkthrough mode is now in a listing mode. So now I can go floor 2, and it goes to floor 2, and then floor 1. So it's kind of just a way to organize all your panoramas into different categories and have them look really nice and spicy. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think the product itself is very, very simple to use. We have hundreds and thousands of people using it, not daily, but they use it to create their tours. We have about in a month, we have about 2 million people using our apps. So we have a lot of people using these products. So you can be sure of it just being a very solid product. I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to stop my screen share and I'm going to answer some questions if there are, or I'm going to talk about some of the questions that have been asked before.
We definitely have some questions.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and go through some of these. For those who don't have a 360-degree camera, what would be a good and reasonably priced starter?
I think a good starter is a camera called Theta SC2, and this is priced at about $250, and it is good. It gives really good results, especially for real estate walkthroughs. It's a good product for that. If you're focusing on real estate or any kind of closed spaces, the Theta SC2 is a really good product.
Awesome. All right. Okay. One code only gives one brand, but is it white labeled to the app and website we can white label?
Yeah, I mean, I think we don't offer white label at all. It's a SaaS product. Like I said, the idea and the reason why we don't restrict redirects is so that you can redirect the tours in a sense where you can actually get the tours that you sell are branded to your client's branding. The product itself that we build is a very, very difficult product. There's a lot of image processing. There are only two companies in the world that have panorama apps on Android and iOS. It is us and Google, just the two companies. So it's a very difficult technology problem to solve. So I don't think white labeling it is going to fool anybody that, okay, you built this product, right? So that, I mean, we could give it, but it would not really mean much. Yeah.
Sure. Do you also offer analytics on the number of visitors you received on your tours on a week-to-week basis? Do you also offer floor plans that can be posted on the tour screen? Two different questions. Sorry.
No problem. Yeah, floor plans is coming, and it'll be a part of the deal. So when floor plans are ready, if you have a floor plan, you can basically upload a floor plan. You can connect the dots and basically just have a really nice looking floor plan. We are working on some other things with the floor plan, but these are not specifically floor plan related. But it could help in generating a more better floor plan. Again, these are very advanced talks, but yeah. So floor plans are coming probably by I think mid Q1.
Awesome. Love that. And then analytics on visitors.
Analytics. Yeah. So analytics, we are going to add a direct integration to Google Analytics, and you'll be able to track anything that you want to track through that.
Wonderful. All right. Does the tool autosave as you go along, or do you manually save?
So the tool actually autosaves. So we had initially just built autosave, but a lot of our customers are older customers, and so they are not very they're not used to autosave, so they prefer the save button. So we had to re-engineer our product again to make it less good. But I think it was a good decision because it gives a mental peace of mind so that you can keep saving it.
All right. I think I told you this question would come up. Where are you based? How large is your team? And what time zone does your support team follow? They love this.
Well, I think we are a remote team. I'm based in Luxembourg. When the deal launched, I was in Budapest. So, but my base is in Luxembourg. The company's base is Luxembourg. We're a Luxembourg company with two entities, one in the US and one in India. Most of our dev team is based out of India and Chile, and it's a very remote team. And we have been remote since 2013. And now it just is easier for us to be remote because of COVID.
Yeah. How different is the marketplace deal from the select deal?
The marketplace deal in terms of tours, brands, and space is not different from the select deal because I didn't think that was fair. But we allow stacking, and at different levels of stacking, we unlock different things for our marketplace and we unlock different things for the select. You just have to maybe buy a code or two more in select to unlock it. So that's the only difference. The one key difference, and the thing is, I don't think I did a good job of explaining this both on the deal page as well as in general, because it was a very on the fly decision, is the subscription plan that you can avail. So I know that, a lot of AppSumo customers don't really like subscription, and we are aware of it, but we kept getting asked subscription because of our space limits. And, we explain to people about why it's expensive. And if you go and look at our ratings and you look at our reviews, you will see people understanding that this is an expensive process. And anybody that understands technology will know it's an expensive process. And they were more than happy with the space that was provided for them because the ROI per tour is really high. Now, to answer that question about the difference between the marketplace and select, if you buy 5 codes from the marketplace, you can unlock the subscription at a lower price. I think it is at $120 per year, which is ridiculous because our base plan is, I think, $35. So if you're a marketplace person, a deal owner, you have a better price for the subscription, whereas it's $175 for the select.
All right. Okay. Sumolings, if you have questions, I just want to let you know that I'm grabbing these from the Q&A box. This question is, how long do the tours last? Once used, does that clear the active live tours towards your allowed tours?
Well, I mean, if it's an active tour, it just stays. And if it's not active and you make it private, it still stays on your account. We don't delete anything. The deal was made knowing the space limits. Like, it was calculated to the dollar. And I also had to negotiate with AppSumo a lot. So it's to the dollar. Like, if you upload the whole 3 GB, we are going to be okay with you keeping that space. It's not, we're not going to delete it or do anything fancy with it.
Cool. So the question came in again. Can you confirm if we remove an old tour, can we reuse the space / tour slot?
You cannot reuse the space, but you can reuse the tour slot.
Cool. Oh, I can clarify. What does marketplace and select mean? So marketplace is something that AppSumo has, where tools and partners can kind of launch themselves, whereas the select deals are what y'all are used to. It's what we host webinars for. The select deals are the ones where we put our marketing efforts behind it. And that's truly the difference between the two. This deal was a marketplace deal, which means that originally y'all launched yourself and did the marketing for yourself, and they still sold like crazy. And so we brought them on as a select deal and prepared, marketing assets and such for them that way. Those are the two major differences between marketplace
and for people that don't know, Lindsay does more than talk on webinars. She also wrote our video pitch, and it was great.
I don't know if people know that. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I also write the video scripts. So that's the difference, is I don't touch marketplace deals traditionally. And then this one, can you still get the marketplace deal? I think you're just here now, right? You just
you can. Yeah.
But it's the same deal, more or less. And so, so you can get the deal now here. It's because they did so well and they were so loved that now they're stuck being one of our fancy deals. So the fancy deals that Lindsay's involved in. All right. So among the items in your roadmap, what are you most excited to implement? That's my question that I ask. This person watches these. What are you most excited about? What are you looking forward to?
Oh man, I mean, you know, I don't know how much time we have on the webinar, but you know, like I said, we when we built the company, we had this grand vision of mapping the world. That was our grand vision, right? And I think in terms of user generated mapping assets, we are probably below Facebook and Google. Sorry, Google and Facebook. So we have a lot of content, and so the virtual tour side of the product that I think would be of interest for people listening here, what we are very kind of excited about is really making it easier and easier and easier for you guys to map spaces and sell tours and provide your clients, because I think we are very, very focused on privacy, and unfortunately Google and the others are not. And so the reason why our company is based in Luxembourg is because if you're a US based company, Google can screw with you a little bit. This is just, stuff that happens in Silicon Valley. So the idea of privacy is very important for us. The idea of data is very important. And so we're going to keep building over that stuff, which is like allowing agency owners, allowing businesses to map their spaces faster, more effectively, and own that space and own the content of that space. I don't know, that's just like a very long-term view.
Wonderful. Thank you. A question for me. I love questions for me. Will we be seeing more marketplace deals moving to select deals? We hope so. Yes. It is a plan for successful marketplace deals to become select deals. If I'm not mistaken, we have some on the calendar, but I couldn't tell you by name or when. Truly no idea. But yes, that is a goal. It is a hope. It's what we want for you all. Yeah, there was a question that just came in. Can you stack more than 3 codes with a limit of 40 tours? Can we buy more tours at a discount?
We all love discounts, and the way you increase your limits is I would not stack more than 3. You are allowed to stack till April 2021. Like I said, we don't want anybody to FOMO into our deal. I personally, and our company and our employees don't want to deal with people who are unhappy with our product and unhappy with the deal, because the product is great, but maybe the deal's not great. And I understand the difference between the two. And the product is going to be great for you guys if you can make money off it. And so if you can sell 40 tours, minimum you're selling it at $200 per tour. That's the minimum.
That was a question that came up, by the way. How much can we charge our clients based on your experience?
Right. It depends, obviously, which part of the world you are in. But if you're probably in the US, and, I have seen people sell tours for $10,000. I have 2 clients. And when they saw our pricing, they're like, oh my God, like this guy just sold us this for $10,000, and so he did a good job of selling the virtual tour, but the virtual tour is beautiful. So, he used great photography. He had interactive elements. So it was worth it for the client, which is a large university. And for them, $10,000 means nothing. But realtors are a little bit more not very good with paying people. So realtors are an easy market, but they pay less. But you go for larger, like you go for museums, you go for government agencies. Like, for example, we have clients that do warehouses for government. And so the government has to inspect their warehouse every 6 months. And they have to have, based on mandate, 360 photography done of these warehouses. And so and government tenders go for, hundreds and thousands of dollars. So there's just a lot of money involved in 360 photography if you can sell. And so the question was how much money you can make. It depends, but I would say the minimum, if you're living in the US or Europe, is $200 per tour. That's the minimum.
And potentially much, much more.
Yep.
Very fun. Love that. Good job, guys. Okay, so for the hotspots, specifically audio, can an audio file autoplay upon entry? And if you have multiple audio hotspots, will they play concurrently? Do hotspots links take you outside of the tour window or in the window?
So with music, there is a limitation by the browser itself. So Chrome and Safari, they have a limitation there when you click, because there was a huge problem with spam. I don't know if you remember, like 5, 6 years back, you would open a website, you would have an automatically playing video or an ad that would just blast stuff out. You don't hear that anymore because the browsers stop it. So the browsers have implemented security measures that don't allow autoplay. Having said that, we do have, so for example, if the tour was already open or teleportme.com was already open on someone's website, and then they go to the tour, the browser says, okay, this guy's already come here. He likes this website. Let me play this music that's already been autoplayed. So that's a caveat there. The way the hotspots work, so there is a audio for the tour itself, there is an audio for the panorama itself, and then there is an audio hotspot. So these are three different things. An audio hotspot is a very specific action-oriented audio play. So for example, if you have I'm taking an example of a museum, and you have an artifact, that's not the right word, like an art piece. Is artifact
Depends
right?
on the museum, right?
Right. You're right. So you have an art piece.
The Natural History Museum would have artifacts. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Right. So you have an art piece, and then you would have a audio hotspot on it that would say info. So when you click on it, it would give you information about the specific thing. So the hotspot is a click-based action, whereas things like nadir and music and auto rotation, these are all panorama or tour specific actions.
Wonderful, thank you. And then do the hotspot links take you outside of the tour window?
Oh, yes. So if you connect the URL, I should have shown that. If you connect the URL to the hotspot, it takes you out of the window.
Great.
But most other hotspots, like YouTube, plays inside the video, inside the tour, and images will load inside the tour. So if you say, for example, you have a panorama, and again, I'm using museums because museums are like the most, not museums, but it could be even like a showroom or a restaurant. We had people. Yeah, I mean, we had people that there's a very good customer of ours who used to be a trekking instructor, and when the pandemic hit, he couldn't go trekking because there's no tourism involved. So he had a 360 camera, and he used to use it for I don't know why I'm telling the story, but he used to use it for trekking, and then he decided to sell 360 tours to restaurants, local restaurants. So he came up with this virtual menu. I'd never seen this anywhere. So basically, he would take these 360 panoramas of places very close to like a table, and then he would take photos of the food, and he would like Photoshop them and place them on the table, which was, I don't know. I just thought it was a cool story. So, like depending on your imagination, right, and what you can sell somebody, I thought that was really cool. I just thought that this guy,
No, I really like that. I'm imagining like if you look at like a menu and you like want to know what it actually looks like.
Yeah, and his whole thing was, I want to show how big the plate is, because apparently that place was known for a lot of food, and so he wanted to like show that, and I thought that was cool.
I love it. All right. Is there a way to create automatic indexes such as what's new or in all Victorian houses or all kitchens, or is that done manually?
I don't understand the question, but indexes?
Maybe Christopher, if you want to give us a little more information, but he does have another question here. So it sounds like, this is a real estate related question. Is there any limit to the levels or drill down in one spot? For example, within one house, within all bedrooms, within the master bedroom, closet 1 versus closet 2. In other words, can the structure be deep as well as wide?
Not yet. Not yet, but if we have a lot of people asking for it, like no one's really asked us for it, but if someone asks us for it, or like a couple of people ask for it, then we are happy to build it. It just doesn't seem to be a very common use case.
Cool. Can we update a tour at no cost? This is based on the statement about government work. If my client needs me to update their tour every month, how would I do that?
Yeah, so I think this is also an important and cool part about our product is we are fully API based. This is why large companies work with us. And so if you are a government, if it's a government institution and they want you to change things, it's really simple. There's no cost for updating. You just go in, you log in, you change whatever you want to change, and it reflects on your client side, which is very different from the current state of virtual tours, where you basically export an entire file, which is about 2 GB, and then you upload it through FTP. So it's just very tedious.
Cool. In regards to pricing, if you have a tour where it is being accessed by the public rather than creating a one-off for a client, what are people charging for that?
Access by public. Is it like, I think maybe he's trying to say, would you? So we are going to experiment with paid tours. So this is something that, you know, we were looking at, which is, you know, say you have a museum or an art gallery or something of that sort, and you want to virtually collect payments. So we were going to have, I think that's what he's asking, but I'm not sure. And so we were going to have a Stripe integrated paywall.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Christopher provided maybe some clarity on the what's it called? The indexes. He says he clarified maybe a keyword search. So could you pull up all the panoramas added in the last week, or all the panoramas with the word bedroom in it?
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, I think that's actually not a bad question. And we should probably implement it. Yeah. Cool. Just like a search. Yeah.
All right. If my client was a car dealership and they change out their cars every month, is that considered
a lot of car dealerships?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Is that considered a single tour with updates, or is this multiple tours?
No, if you update the same tour, it's fine. It's not considered. Yeah, it's the same tour. You can edit and take off panoramas within the tour. The tour is a collection of panoramas, so you can change your panoramas in and out.
Great. All right, Sumolings, we are about to wrap this up. If y'all want to submit any last questions that you have, here we have, if you choose to download and host our own tour videos, does that mean we can save the space that comes with the deal? No. So I'm going to explain this because I think this is the hot topic and the hot problem of our deal. It's a problem I'm happy to have, but I just wanted to explain it. So the way our product works is, or at least our vision of our product, is to be extremely high resolution, high-end tours. This is our core selling point. And this is the reason why we have, when we launched our product, people just switched, right? They didn't care about it. They said, this is the resolution they want, because the typical customer of TeliportMe is a high-end photographer. That is the typical customer. And they were so tired of really low resolution images. And I would recommend that if you are going to sell your tours, sell it as a premium service. And the way you sell a tour as a premium service is by providing really great quality imagery. And that's the reason why we have these tours that you don't have to capture. These are beautiful tours that you can show your client and say, I'm going to give you this quality of an experience, pay me $500. And once you have $500, honestly, you know, it's better than a CRM tool. So the point that I'm trying to make is the space itself is very expensive for us. Every time you upload it, we have to maintain the resolution. And there's a video on the deal page where I explain what we do. But think of it as, if you upload 100 MB, we store it as 150 MB. Because we make basically upscale the image and we store it. So for those reasons, you know, we don't want to be in a situation where, you know, we're losing money on every tour that is uploaded. Sure. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Sumolings, for hanging out with us.
Wow.
We have.
I was not expecting these many questions. I just thought there would be nobody.
Yeah, we've gotten a bunch of questions. We just got this last one. Do you have an API with 3D programs?
Oh, wow. With 3D programs, can they give me an example?
It will allow you to export 3D renderings of architectural projects and made into tours, program exporters like programs.
We don't have an API for that, but we are the #1 product for virtual staging on Fiverr. if you go to Fiverr and you look at stuff, so you'll find a ton of links from us. So it's useful. So just to tell people who are listening, virtual staging is where you have an empty apartment or a under construction apartment, and you use 3D rendering to render the space so that it looks real. And then you put it on a virtual tour, and then it just looks like it's an apartment.
That's fun. Technology's so weird, you guys. Last question, can the video tours be hosted on client infrastructure?
Yes. So so we are allowing you to export tours, but it'll come at a cost, and it won't be easy for you to make changes. So if those things are fine, and if a client is insistent, because I know, like I said, the government clients, they're very insistent on servers and all of that stuff. So we do have exporting of the tours. The cost is about, I think, $10 a tour, depending. This is on our business plan. So I haven't really thought of how we can implement that for the lifetime deal guys and girls. And so I don't have an answer for you, but the functionality of export exists. And once you export the file, you can put it up on the servers, any server you want.
Excellent.
But it's not a part of the deal. I just want to make sure. So I don't have
not part of the deal.
Not part of the deal.
Option. Yeah. Somebody's going to hit you up about it now. I'm telling you.
I know.
All right. So that's all we've got time for today.
Thank you, everybody. I honestly, I appreciate it. I really, and Lindsay will tell you this. I was just like, we got to come up with fake questions.
His expectations, you guys, the floor, beneath the floor. He asked me, he truly did ask me ahead of time if I had prepared fake questions, because I am a professional. But Sumolings, you definitely gave us a lot to answer. Yeah, we got through more than 20 questions. So high five to you.
There you go.
And
thanks to everybody.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. As you know, this deal is available on AppSumo right now. It is a lifetime deal backed by AppSumo's 60-day guarantee. So you can go ahead and get set up, play around with it, see how it works for you. Once you have played around with TeliportMe for a little while, we would love if you left your review on the deal page. As I mentioned earlier, they just entered our store and have 27 reviews so far with a 5 taco rating, and they were a smash hit in our marketplace. So yeah, go ahead and leave your reviews. And if you have any more questions, you can also leave those on the deal page as well. Thank you so much, Vineet, for hanging out with us. It's been a blast.
It was great hanging out with everybody.
Thank you,
Lindsay. And thanks for the great video script.
My pleasure, always. Anything.
All right.
Have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye, guys.